Welcome to Arup's Digital Horizons series. It's part of a 3-day series of events, and today's focus, how are digital twins and digital asset management accelerating decarbonisation?
Digital twins and digital asset management technologies are critical components of the future of the built environment. There is an imperative need for more decisive action on carbon than we've achieved to date. So if we have successful approaches, we need to deploy them at pace.
Imagine that we have a virtual replica of your own body. So in this way, the doctor can treat different ideas. Instead of your real body, they can treat in the virtual human. Move this idea, but now into cities. Imagine that you are the gamer of a game like SimCity. You're the mayor, and you're expected to provide for your citizens basic needs by way of public services. If your citizens don't have access to services, they become unhappy. So depending on your decisions, in this case, the decision on where to locate a new hospital, will impact the happiness of your citizens. Even though this is a game, this is actually what we need to do right now with cities. We strongly believe that all of these solutions should be people-centered. Really, really focused in the citizens living the city.
How do you make a replica of something so that you can understand what you want it to do, what you don't want it to do, and be able to do those things without causing a change to the physical environment? It kind of was a no-brainer. If you put in a digital twin and you put in this ecosystem in a building, it accomplishes a lot of things, whether that's from your sustainability goals, whether that's from more efficient operations, from data, and ultimately from kind of true machine learning and all that. So we started looking at it and saying, okay, it checks.
And what really strikes me as well is that this is so much about a journey rather than a destination, that there's so much here and now value that can be produced. But I definitely feel that there's a lot of fixation on this unicorn of a fully autonomous, living, breathing asset city, whatever it might be, space, and not the kind of thought of actually, if I do something small and use case driven, I can get some value now to drive return, to get the traction. And that journey, I guess, is the value, isn't it?
I think it's really important to emphasise that the answer to everything is not necessarily digital twin. We need to be very mindful of the environmental footprint that comes with these types of tools, and there are an awful lot of digital tools that we can use before we get to digital twin that will deliver benefit. But there is no doubt that these tools can really support far better decision making, and ultimately then as well delivery of better outcomes.
Your smart sensing in buildings tell you how things happen. There's one question that none of these two tools for the moment can answer. Why is this happening? And the why is about the people. And as long as we don't understand how people react to policies, why people do what they're doing, I think these digital twins will be orphans of some sort. We should always think first of engaging with people before we start trying to simulate more.
Of course, decarbonising the power sector means increased reliance on intermittent renewable generation, so generating energy when the wind is blowing and when the sun is shining, which it does occasionally do here in the UK. Modelling, understanding and making decisions on how to operate a system that's dependent on that sort of generation is complex. System operators, network operators really need to understand all the information that they can so that the energy system can run in a decarbonised way. And to do that in a quick way, data and digitalisation is the only way forward.
In Singapore's context, we work with a research center to develop the first nationwide solar potential map, or rooftop of Singapore. Every one of it, you know how much solar you can harness from that rooftop. So this is a very important steps for decarbonization in Singapore.
The Internet of Things and the smart devices play a fundamental role in our efforts. By deploying this technology, we can do remote management for our office worldwide. And it also accelerates our decarbonization process. For example, which can help us track our carbon footprint day to day.